Okay, now let's welcome back. This is a review. It's about a month since I guess this mid-season finale, whatever they want to call it. They broke the season up in an interesting way. But anyway, let's get right into it. So we start off with Hanna and Veronica. So we know that Melissa jumped. And Hannah's calling 911. Veronica's saying all this crazy stuff. She's blaming Hanna, and Hannah's trying to ignore her, but she keeps on going and going and going and saying all this stuff. And she really was trying to provoke Hanna, but Hanna didn't really go for it. Hanna did end up calling her off. She said something like, "You mother hunching after." She was trying not to say it, and she came up with something else. And Veronica kept going, and finally the paramedics arrived, and they were telling Hanna, "Okay, stay back, get back, get back." Veronica gets up there, and they tell her, like, "Okay, well, she didn't make it. She's gone." Veronica asked about the baby. Supposedly Melissa was 3 months pregnant, which is, like, I don't think she really was, but the timeline is just been so spread out. It's like, okay, only 3 months. I don't know, the timeline is way spread out, because when Melissa got Jeffrey drunk, that was at least 3 years ago. So the timeline is just so spread out. It's crazy. But anyway, they tell her that Melissa's gone. They ask her, "Did you know her?" And Veronica said, "I didn't know that bitch." Yeah, he was just looking. He was looking and he left. Yeah.
But I think that was wrong.
It was, yeah. And so she keeps on saying stuff to Hanna like, "How'd you get the money for this house? Was this your daughter? What kind of scam did she run? Who got you this house?" And Hannah's just looking at her, and Hanna finally just goes into the house. And then Derek shows up, and Veronica has stuff to say to him. Of course, she's angry at him because he didn't entertain her what she wanted. And Hannah's peeking out the window. And so she goes on and leaves, and Hanna comes back out and says, "Do you know her?" And he says, "Yeah, I've done some work for her," but beyond that, he didn't really get into how he knows Veronica. But of course, that's probably going to come out later in more detail. And so next we get to Jeffrey and Crazy. So Crazy, he's doing the same thing. It's like it's almost the exact same conversation they have every time. And he's like, "Well, I didn't go off like I could have. I didn't go off like I could have." Jeffrey's all, "What? Do you want a cookie?" And and anyway, they're having the same conversation. It's like, okay, we get it. Justin is crazy. Jeffrey keeps indulging him, but one thing that Justin did say that he has not said before, he said that Jeffrey liked all that craziness, and that is, it's all the drama. And that is that's accurate, because Jeffrey, he'll tell Justin, "Leave me alone," and not that long later, he'll be saying, "Okay, well," he'll be into him again. So it's obvious that he likes the drama and some crazy person after him, because Jeffrey's got mental problems himself. Okay. So let's get to Candace. So she,
That's his father kind of implied.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. Because he did. Well, he stabbed Veronica. And he did say that he had almost killed somebody in school
But
for
then his
messing
father
with.
implied that he liked that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He did. Yes, he did. And so let's get to Candace. So RK brings this man to her room because in the last episode she asked RK, okay, well, get me somebody. And she wants this guy to go lean on Hanna to get that money. And at first he's like, I'm not going to beat up no old lady. And I'm like, it's not like Hanna is that old. It's not like she's in a nursing home or something. But still, it was, it's wrong for Candace to want somebody to go, lean on her mother to get this money. And the guy is reluctant to do it, but then she says, well, I'll make it worth your while. And so he pretty much agrees to do it. And then Benny comes over there and he wants to know, where'd you get this money from? And Candace, it was my money. Jim Cryer swindled it out of me. He had somebody swindle it from me, so I got it back. And I'm like, you still blackmailed him for that money, and now he took it back, and then you took it back. Except that was not the money that was not the money that he got from you. It was Wyatt's money, and Benny's trying to get her to see that in some sense that it's wrong, and she still wants him to get that money out of the account, even though she already set the guy up to go after Hanna. But I guess she still wanted to try to get Benny to get the money, and then she probably would just call the guy off. But anyway, Benny leaves, and then she calls Gia. She says, okay, there's going to be a guy coming down in the elevator in a pinkish shirt, get his attention. And so, yeah, he's my brother. And so she, oh yeah, I didn't think of that. And so he comes down the elevator. Gia deliberately bumps into him, and she's all, hey! And she's like really angry. Next second, she's like crying, ooh, and all that. And obviously that works because they end up at the ball. Benny is a hoe. He really is. He is. He really is a hoe. So they're at the bar talking, and then they're at the bar, but in between that, Mitch is at the hospital with his uncle, and his uncle is telling him, just to get information and just, make stuff happen, like mob stuff, to make mob stuff happen. And that's when Mitch knows then that it was not Benny who stabbed his uncle in the throat with a bottle. So he calls Benny and kind of apologizes. And and then he goes off to do the mob stuff or whatever. I guess he's just not worried about not being involved in it anymore. I guess he's just going to be involved in the family business now. So at the bar, Gia is making up all sorts of stories about how she is from Pittsburgh and is a nurse. And Benny's buying it. I'm like, okay, so I don't think that many nurses dress like that and are just hanging around in hotel bars or whatever, but okay. So finally he's saying that he needs to go, and she's like, you're not going to even ask me for my number, and she's being real pushy, and Benny doesn't think anything of it, because like you said, he's a hoe, and it's not like he was going to, anyway. So at Catherine's house, she comes home, And of course, Jim is mad that she turned Wyatt into the police, and they're going back and forth, and she's saying he needed to pay for what he did, and Jim's like, well, I was going to handle it, I would have fixed it, and I was going to fix it, he was going to have Benny take the fall, but Catherine saw to it that would not happen, and he's like, do you know what happened to him the last time he was in there? And yeah, when Jim put him in there, Veronica, she hired that prisoner to do that, and that was Jim's fault, even though that was his fault, because he shouldn't have put Wyatt in there in the first place, and he was trying to put him in there to scare him out of testifying against them because of all they did, all their crimes. And so Hanna comes to the end of the house, and she's angry because Jim had gone in to see Benny. And he's like, well, I don't owe an explanation to the maid and all that. And she's not backing down. She does not back down. She gets out what she needs to get out. And Hanna says, she says, was it about that money? And Catherine's like, okay, you told about that money that whore got from you. And Hanna's like, now wait a minute, that's my child. And Catherine didn't even try to put up a fight. She's just like it. She got it. Like, back off. Candace is a bad person, but nobody talks about her but Hanna. So, and Hanna finally says, well, I have the money. I have all of it, right down to the last cent. And Jim had memorized all of the amount, even the cents. It was like 37 cents. And that's how he was trying to keep the money for himself. If you have memorized everything like that, and it's like 6 digits with the change, and you've memorized it, you were trying to keep that money for yourself. And she shut him down because Hanna, she says he finally shut the hell up. And, Hanna cursed then, but that was like a mid-level curse word, you can get away with saying that. And, and here we get to Wyatt in the jail, and he just thinks that he is saying that he didn't do anything at all. I didn't do anything. And he knows what he did, but he's telling the DA, I didn't do anything. And he's demanding that the DA get him out of there right now, or he won't testify. And, there's no way the DA can make that happen. And he says, well, if you don't testify, you're going to go down for the hit and run, because that's what the old DA, the one that Catherine shot, that's the deal she made with Wyatt. If you testify against your parents, you'll get immunity for what you did, and which was a pretty solid deal. You get out of running over a kid in exchange for. Well, of course he's probably gonna end up dead because he stabbed him alone in the throat. Yeah, and Jim was acting stupid. He acts like White being on the street was much better. I mean, he's still going to be in danger in jail, but either way, he is in big trouble.
He feels privileged.
Yeah, he feels privileged. Yeah, he's like, I didn't do anything. And he acts like he really believed it. So anyway, so we get to the end, and that car exploded at David's house, and Erica, she was clearly burnt up to a crisp, not coming back. It's like,
it's not funny.
I'm sorry, but I'm just laughing because they really wanted to make the point. Okay, she's dead, burnt up to a crisp, and it's like the way they had it was like she was like frozen in motion, like when she was like yelling. On fire. Okay. And then David, he was kind of burnt up, but he was alive and they were putting him on the stretcher. And in the preview, Veronica was ready for him to be dead because she's holding up this black dress at the mirror. And she's like, oh, my husband is dead. But he's alive, and I'm sure he's going to really get her for this one. So that was the episode. Like, comment, and subscribe. Just let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.